Welcome to Math with Mr. J. In this video, we're going to be finding volume using unit cubes. And if you take a look at your screen, we have two rectangular prisms that are filled with unit cubes. So we have a great visual of what volume is. That's why I like these unit cubes, especially when someone's just starting out taking a look at volume. I also have our formulas up here that we can use for volume, and using these unit cubes will give us a better understanding of why and how those work. So let's jump right into number one here, where we have a rectangular prism filled with the unit cubes. So the first thing we need to do, there's a couple different strategies. Let's use the base times height formula first. So I'm going to write my formula. Volume equals base, the area of the base, times the height. So what this means, essentially, find how many cubes make up one layer of that rectangular prism. It doesn't matter if it's the top, bottom, either will work. So let's do the top layer. Count how many cubes are on that top layer. Hopefully, you got to the answer of 15. That's the area of the base, or area of one of the layers, is 15. Now we can find the volume, or how many unit cubes take up that shape, by multiplying one layer by how many layers there are. And there's 1, 2, 3 layers. So we could do 15 times 3, and that will give us how many unit cubes make up that rectangular prism. And 15 times 3 gives us 45. And I will put CU, which means cubic units. And that's the volume of that rectangular prism. And volume is how much space a three-dimensional object takes up. Let's use our other formula and see if we get the same answer. Volume equals length times width times height. So length, I consider how far back the three-dimensional object goes. So if we take a look here, how many cubes back? Well, 3 times the width. How wide? 5 unit cubes. And lastly, how tall the height? 3 unit cubes. And this will get to 3 times 5 is 15, times that 3 gives us 45 cubic units. So both formulas give us the same answer. And that will happen for every rectangular prism. Again, volume is how much space a three-dimensional object takes up. And we use unit cubes in order to measure that space, whether it's cubic inches, cubic feet, cubic yards, meters. Here we're just using cubic units. The unit of measure is not given. So let's take a look at number 2. So we have a rectangular prism there. We're going to find out the volume by finding how many cubic units fill that rectangular prism. So again, two formulas we can use. We'll go through both. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. So for this one, you find the area of one of the layers and then multiply it by how many layers there are. So let's take a look at the top layer. How many unit cubes make up that top layer? Hopefully you're thinking 8. So one layer has 8 cubes, and then multiply it by the height, or how many layers there are. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. So 8 times 4 gives us a volume of 32 cubic units. Let's do length times width times height as well. So write out our formula, then we plug in. So how far back? What is the length? 1, 2, 3, 4. Times the width here, which is 1, 2. And the height we already determined is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get to a volume of 4 times 2 is 8, times 4 is 32 cubic units. So using unit cubes gives us a visualization of volume and what it means to fill a rectangular prism with unit cubes. So hopefully that helped. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, peace.